gentlemen, welcome to tonight's matchup between the Lady Oaks and the visiting South Webster Lady Jeeps, and we'll be ready to start this SOC matchup here in just a few minutes. Lady Oaks coming off of a win with their last game against Portsmouth West, hoping to make it 2 in a row tonight. South Webster's won their last 2 games at the buzzer with by 2 points each. So it's anybody's game, anybody's guess. We're pulling for the Lady Oaks. And we got Ashley Maynard jumping against Rollins, Tanya Rollins from South Webster. And the referee's checking with everybody, and we got a pretty good crowd here tonight to watch this game, and we're ready to start it. Here we go. And there's the Oak Hill gets the first possession off the jump ball. The ball was picked up by Ruth and given over to Ashley Morgan. Ruth with the ball. Back out to Spurlock. Spurlock to Morgan. To Phillips. To Spurlock. To Ruth. To Phillips. Out to Morgan. Over to Ruth. Lady Oaks setting it up. Out to Spurlock. Into Morgan. Over to Phillips. Over to Spurlock. To Ruth. To Phillips. She takes it to the lane. And 2 she gets. Lady Oaks up by 2. We're taking almost a minute off the clock. Setting it up. Ball's over to Rose. Underneath to number 20. Missed. Maynard with the rebound. That was Baker that missed the shot for the Lady Jeeps. Morgan with the ball. Passes over to Ruth. Ruth brings it back out. Over to Morgan. And Morgan takes it to the middle. Gives it to Phillips. Over to Maynard. Maynard gets 2. Lady Oaks up 4-0. 6:34 to go in this first period of play. Ball's over to Rose. Underneath to number 35. That's, I have no idea. Who's number 35? Evans that throw the ball out for South Webster. Spurlock with the ball from the give from Ruth, or from Morgan. Over to Phillips from outside, off the rim. Morgan with the rebound, out to Ruth. Ruth from 3. Bounces off the rim, no. Phillips with the rebound, puts it up, no. And Evans with the rebound for South Webster. Van Dusen bringing up the ball down for the South Webster. Over to Rollins. Rollins back out to Van Dusen. Over to Rose. And knocked away by Phillips. Van Dusen picks it up. And she brings it to the lane. Out to Baker. And there's a 3. Bria Rose with the 3. That makes it a 3-4 ball game. To Maynard. I lost my concentration here. No. And a rebound by Evans. Ball's over to Rose. She dribbles around. And a foul's called on Spurlock. Rose will go line to shoot 2. Rose on the line to shoot 2. Gillen in the ball game. We have Phillips and Maynard down low. Rose's first shot's good. 4-4 is the ball game. 5:10 to go in this first period. And the second one's in and out. Picked up by Ruth. Ruth over to Phillips. Phillips to Morgan. Over to Gillen. Back into Maynard. Over to Ruth. Out to Morgan. Over to Gillen. And thrown away. And Van Dusen with the ball for the easy two. Timeout, Lady Oaks. As we come back, it's 6-4 in favor of South Webster. Gillen into Morgan. Back out to Gillen. Over to Phillips. And knocked out by Rollins. Into Morgan. Trying to set up trap in the middle to Phillips. And in the hands of Evans. A long pass to Van Dusen. And she brings it back out to Rose. And that's Van Dusen with the ball underneath to Evans. Evans turns, fires, no. And back out to number corner. That's Baker with two. Into Phillips. Phillips to Ruth. Ruth to Phillips. She's tied up, and foul called on Evans on the floor. Her first, team first. It's South Webster 8, Oak Hill 4. Into Maynard, over to Morgan, back to Phillips. Underneath, knocked out of bounds by South Webster, Oak Hill's ball. Phillips bringing the ball in for Lady Oaks, into Maynard. Maynard to Morgan. Morgan from three. Gets that. That makes it a 7-8 ball game. South Webster up by 1. Van Dusen bringing the ball down the floor. Over to Rose, over to Rollins. Back out to Van Dusen from three. No good. Picked up by Phillips. Phillips over to Morgan. To Phillips. And stole by Rollins, and a foul on Morgan. Takeout foul, that keeps them from scoring an easy two. Still gives them possession of the ball. Van Dusen with the ball. And picked up by Gillen. And back out to Phillips. Over to Ruth, over to Morgan. And there's a foul on Van Dusen. Her first, team second. Oak Hill's ball out on the side. 2:56 to go in this first period play. Both teams 2 fouls. Over to Phillips. And a foul called on Baker. Her first, team third. Ball's out on the end. I would have thought it would have come out on the side. We have 3 refs on the floor tonight. And ball's out to Ruth. Over to Gillen. Underneath to Maynard. And it's Oak Hill's ball on the slap out by Baker. Into Maynard, over to Ruth, over to Morgan, over to Phillips, under to Gillen, back to Phillips. Phillips from three, got the distance and got the three. That puts the Lady Oaks up 10-8. Lady Oaks up by 2 with 2:32 to go. Rollins to Baker to Van Dusen, and she answers with a 3. And that makes it 11-10. Morgan with the ball. Over to Ruth. Ruth out to Phillips. Back to Morgan. Morgan, no. Rebound Gillen. Back out to Ruth. And blocked in there. Oak Hill's ball. On the slap out by South Webster. 1:59 to go in this first period play. It's a 1-point ball game. To Maynard, to Morgan, to Phillips. Underneath to Maynard. She turns, she shoots, she gets two. Lady Oaks up by 1, 12-11. Van Dusen with the ball. And the ball's taken away, tied up. Jump ball. And there should be a technical. Come on, let's go. Technical, ref. Come on, ref. And he's not going to call it. I figured we'd have a technical out of that one on the foul after the play, but they didn't call that either. So first time we've seen that for a while. And the possession must have went to South Webster. And rolls in from number 25, Bounce. Phillips to Morgan. And they get her for palming the ball. 13-12 with 1:23. Van Dusen with the ball. Over to Rose. Rose to Baker. Baker shoots. Rebound to Phillips. To Morgan. Oak Hill fans chanting air ball down there when she missed everything. Morgan to Phillips. To Morgan. To Phillips. She brings it around underneath the Gillen. To Maynard and picked up by Ruth. And a foul called on Rollins. Her first, team fourth. Oak Hill's ball out. Fourth team foul on South Webster with 50 seconds to go here in this first period of play. Spurlock back in the ball game. And the ball's into Phillips from 3. Gets that. Phillips' second 3 on the evening. It's 15-13. Lady Oaks up by 2 with the clock counting down on this first period of play. 30 seconds. We'll know who wins the first quarter of this ball game. Lady Oaks has come out here and played good ball tonight. The ball's being passed around by South Webster over in the hands of Van Dusen. Over to Rose. Got some new players in there for South Webster. Adams with the ball. Adams to Van Dusen. Van Dusen shoots. No. Rebound Maynard. Over to Phillips. And that's the end of the first period of play. It's 15-13. Favor of the Lady Oaks. And we'll be back for the second period in just a few minutes. We're back here to start the second 8 minutes of this ball game. Second quarter about to start. We have Davis, Maynard, Phillips, Spurlock, and Ruth in the ball game. Oak Hill's ball with the possession arrow to start this period of play. Ruth brings it down over to Davis. Davis underneath the Spurlock. She dribbles, she shoots, no. Knocked around in there and come up with by Grimm. Van Dusen brings the ball down. Over to Rose. Rose takes it to the middle. She throws it up, and it rolls off. Picked up by Spurlock. Bounce with the rebound. Back out to Van Dusen. In and out. And Spurlock with the rebound. Over to Phillips, and Phillips gives it off to Ruth. Ruth brings it down. Over to Phillips. Phillips takes it to the edge, brings it back out over to Spurlock, and she loses it. Picked up by South Webster. Van Dusen met by Ruth. And she palms the ball. Turnover South Webster. Lady Oaks ball on the side from the turnover. Spurlock bring the ball into Ruth. Ruth brings it down the floor. Over to Davis. Over to Spurlock. Knocked back in, picked up by Van Dusen. It's about 3 turnovers here in a little while. Van Dusen to Adams, underneath to Bounce, back out to Van Dusen. Van Dusen goes to the middle, back out to Adams, to Rose, and it's knocked out of bounds by South Webster. Grimm was the one who knocked it out. We have people coming in for South Webster. We've got Baker and Evans and Rollins back in for South Webster. Ball's over to Spurlock. They're trying to set up a trap. Over to Phillips. Across the timeline with it. Given to Ruth. Ruth takes it to the top of the key. Stops. Gives it over to Phillips. Phillips brings it around the side. Give to Ruth. Ruth to Davis. Davis from 3. Got it! Lady Oaks with 4 threes on the ball game. It's 18-13. Rollins with the ball. Rollins brings it around to Baker. Baker back out to Rose. Over to Rollins. Back to Van Dusen, and she stops and pops it. Too high. Rebound by Evans. Evans gets 2. Phillips to Ruth. To Davis. To Ruth. From 3. No. Evans picks the ball up. Over to Baker, over to Rose, over to Van Dusen. Over to Rose. And Rose throws it out. Lady Oaks ball on turnover. We have Morgan and Odell coming in for the Lady Oaks. 5 minutes to go here in this second period of play. And the ball's over to Spurlock. To Odell. Odell stops, throws it to Phillips. We got 2 people on Phillips. Out to Morgan. To Phillips. Phillips takes it around the side. And a foul's called on Rollins. Her second. Team 5th. Lady Oaks ball out under her own bucket. And we have Adams coming in for South Webster. In is Spurlock. Knocked over to Morgan, in and out. Picked up underneath by Spurlock. She gets 2. And a foul called on Evans. Her second. Spurlock go to the line to try to get to the extra point bonus there. It's 20-15. The Lady Oaks up by 5 with 4:36 to go. Spurlock's first shot's up. Falls good. And a trap being set up. Evans to Rose. Lady Oaks got back in time to stop it. Van Dusen to Adams, and off the foot of Spurlock, and she gets the ball, keeps it from going out, and it's over to Morgan. Van Dusen trying to put pressure on Morgan. Morgan to Davis. Now it's back in Morgan's hands. Morgan's come along quick since coming back after having surgery and getting her brace. Long pass to Phillips. Back to Morgan. And she's fouled. They're called to foul on Van Dusen. That's her second. That should put us in a bonus situation. 1-1. Morgan on the line to shoot the bonus. South Webster with 17 fouls. Oak Hill with 2. Lady Oaks 21-15. They've been protecting the ball, not having too much turnovers here tonight. Morgan on the line, shoot one in the bonus. Then she misses the shot, hits it front of the rim, long pass, off the hands of Van Dusen and out the door. The ball doesn't want to play anymore. So while we're, there's the ball back now. It came back, it's ready to go. Spurlock into Morgan. And a buzzer, but we're going to ignore the buzzer. Phillips with the ball. Went through about 3 people there. We was trying to see what the buzzer was about, but we ignore the buzzer now. Over to Phillips. From 3. And it partially is touched as she shoots. And South Webster's Evans comes down with the ball. South Webster hadn't scored in the last 5 minutes of this ball game. Long pass to Rose, over to Adams, underneath to Evans, and picked up there by Odell on the missed shot. No 3 seconds being called under there today, so we can have a campfire. Do a few marshmallows and a few hot dogs. Phillips with the ball, over to Spurlock, and no, rebound Odell, and Spurlock gets there. 23-15. Timeout called South Webster. With 2:47, the Lady Oaks up by 8. Timeout. We got Ruth, Morgan, Gillen, Phillips, and Maynard on the floor. I guess South Webster scored 2 points this period sometime. I missed those. And it's fouls called on Ruth. And the basket was good, I guess. Yeah. And off the hands of Maynard, Gillen picks it up over to Phillips, back out to Morgan. Amy Pick, who had that last shot, missed her foul shot, over to Phillips. Phillips brings it down the middle of the lane, and she puts it high, no. And she was kind of shoved underneath there, no foul call. Lady Oaks up by 6, and bounce. Rose with the ball. And foul called underneath there by Phillips. Be her first, team 4th. Rose bringing the ball in, brings it into Bouts. Bouts out to Rollins. Out to Adams. Over to Pick. Clear across to Rollins, underneath to Rose, and she's tied up. And clear across and throw that out. Turnover South Webster. Oak Hill's ball on the turnover. 1:41 to go here in this second period of play. Lady Oak still up by 6. Morgan with the ball. Crosses the timeline. Over to Phillips. Phillips from 2. No. Jump ball. South Webster's ball in possession. Van Dusen back in the ball game with 1:25 to go. Long pass over to Pick. Pick to Rollins. Rollins to Van Dusen from 3, and she gets it. Her second 3 of the evening, and now it's a 3-point ball game for the Lady Oaks. 23-20 with the Lady Oaks up. Phillips with the ball. Over to Gillen, over to Morgan. She takes it in there, and she's fouled, nothing called. And Van Dusen brings it back down the floor. And the ball's over to Bouts. We got 3 refs on the floor, and they're still missing a lot of things. And there's a shove. They should have got that one, but they didn't. Bouts with the ball. And they're calling the foul on Maynard. Puts Bouts on the line to shoot 2. And Spurlock back in the ball game. Bouts shoots the first one. No good. We got 25 seconds. Second was no good. Picked up by South Webster. Van Dusen. Coach telling her 1 shot. Keep her off the 3-point line. Keep her way outside. And a foul called on Ruth with 7 seconds left. Ruth with her second foul. Ball out on the side. Over to Van Dusen. And from 3, it's partially blocked. Picked up by Spurlock. Given to Phillips. Long pass, long throw, no good. At the end of the second period of play, it's 23-20 in favor of the Lady Oaks. And we'll be back after halftime. And as we come back here to start this third quarter, we have Lady Oaks with possession of the ball. Phillips with the ball. Crosses timeline, being pressured by Rose. Over to Morgan. Morgan to Phillips. And she puts it up. Nope. Knocked away, picked up by Ruth. Ruth puts it up, and she's fouled by Rollins. That's her third, team first. Ruth will go to the line, shoot 2. Rollins out of the ball game, and Amy Pick in the ball game. Ruth's first shot's up, off the rim. Lady Oaks up 23-20. Ruth second shot off the rim. Rebound Evans. Over to Adams, over to Evans. Blocked there by Maynard. In the hands of Phillips, and Phillips to Morgan. Phillips with the ball. Over to Maynard. Maynard puts it in for 2. Lady Oaks score here in this second period, 25-20. 7 minutes to go in the third period. Rose takes it to the middle, and the ball was caught by Maynard, but they're calling her for the foul. Her second, Rose will go to the line, shoot 2. In and out. Second one's in and out. Red lane violation. Oak kills the ball. Morgan with the ball. Comes across the half-court line. Met there by Van Dusen. Over to Phillips. Phillips from 3. Off the top of the rim. And Red's ball. Knocked out there by Lady Oaks. Van Dusen bring the ball down at a quick pace. Met there by Ruth. Over to Adams underneath. Knocked out by Phillips. Picked up by Ruth. And should be a foul called in there. But And a foul's called on her. Her third. She's being replaced by Bouts. Spurlock into Morgan. Morgan met by Van Dusen. There was Spurlock in the middle, and she gets two. Good quick break there by Spurlock for the two. Lady Oaks up 27-20, up by 7. Rose with the ball, over to Pick, underneath the Bouts. Bouts steps around, and foul's called on Maynard. Bouts will go to the line. That's Maynard's third, I believe. Yep, Maynard's third, team second. Both teams have two. Maynard out, Odell in. Bouts at the line to shoot two. Misses her first one. And her second one's good. 27-21, 6-point lead for the Lady Oaks. Morgan with the ball, crosses timeline. And dropped around, Morgan ends up with a back. No, Ruth ends up with it. Morgan ends up with it. Phillips ends up with it. Blocked there and knocked out by Adams, I believe. Baker knocked it out. We had a little swatting match in there. It looked like we was playing volleyball. Spurlock with the ball, over to Morgan, over to Phillips. She brings it to the middle, over to Odell, wide open, and she gets two. 29-21, Lady Oaks up by 8. Biggest lead of the game for the Lady Oaks. South Webster scored 1 point here in the last 3 minutes. Van Hoosen back out to Rose. Rose from 3, off the rim. And a foul called in there on Ruth. That'll be her third. Fouls on the floor. Third team foul on Lady Oaks. Davis in, Ruth out. Bouts with the ball. And Phillips knocks away, picked up by Davis, over to Morgan. Almost knocked out of Morgan's hands there. Crosses timeline, over to Phillips. Clear across the court to Davis. And Van Dusen gets it on a partial block. Van Dusen from 3. No. Odell with the rebound to Phillips. Everybody leaves her. Morgan's got the ball now. South Webster backing up. We got 4:32 to play. Lady Oaks 29-21. Davis. And she fell out of bounds and threw the ball back in, picked up by South Webster. And Rose to Van Dusen, nobody there. She misses, picked up by Phillips on the rebound. To Morgan. Morgan crosses to Phillips. To Davis. To Odell. To Morgan. Morgan gets 2. 31-21, 10-point lead. Lady Oaks is standing timeout. South Webster. 3:43 to go in the third period. Lady Oaks up by 10, 21-31. We'll be into Van Dusen. And she gets a shot off, no good. Rebound Morgan. Morgan to Gillen. To Phillips. Down the middle of the floor. And it's out of the hands of 32 of South Webster. It's our ball. Who's your number 32? Number 32 is Hoffman, is out of her hands, and Phillips with the shot. They get her for the travel. Should have been a foul in there. brings the ball down the court. Over to Hoffman. And blocked. And picked up there by Pick. And no, Odell with the rebound. And a foul called on Hoffman. Her first, team fourth, I believe. 3 minutes left to go in this third period of play. I guess it's only third team foul. Morgan to Phillips in the middle, over to Spurlock. And she throws it up, and the foul's called on Hoffman again. Spurlock will go to the line to shoot two. Hoffman's been in about 40 seconds and has 2 fouls on her. Spurlock on the line to shoot two. We got Evans coming in for South Webster. Spurlock's first shot's up off the front of the rim. We have a lot of whistles out there tonight. Second shot's up. No, off the top of the rim. Knocked in the hands of Gillen. Gillen to Phillips to Morgan. To Phillips. Underneath Odell, out of her hands. Off of O'Kill. 2:30 to go in this third period of play. Still a 10-point lead for the Lady Oaks. Rollins with the ball. Going down to some of his reserve players. And a 2-point scored, but I didn't see who done that one. And it's 23 to 29. Long pass over to Phillips. She puts it up. No. And foul called in there on Spurlock, her second. 23-31. South Webster down by 8. Rollins into Graham. Underneath the Rose, and foul called in there on Gillen. Her first. And Rose will go to the line, shoot two. Davis in ball game for the Lady Oaks. 1:50 to go in this ball game. Rose first shot, no good. Second shot's up, it falls good. Makes it a 31-24 ball game. Lady Oaks up by 7. Morgan crosses the timeline. Stops, pops it from 3. Gets up. Morgan with 2 threes on the evening. Now it's 34-24. We're back to a 10-point ball game. And she palms it. With 1:32. Rollins out, Van Dusen in. Lady Oaks ball on turnover. Morgan. Van Dusen's waiting for Morgan at half court. Over to Phillips. Phillips takes it, pops it from outside the foul line. And a foul's called on 35. That'll be her 4th. Evans. Over the back. Should have been her 4th. Or I thought it was. To Morgan. Morgan brings it down the middle, out to Davis. Davis to Morgan. Phillips. Phillips takes it to the middle, over to Odell. Back out to Phillips. She takes it down the lane, and she's fouled by number 20, Baker. Her second. Phillips will go to the line to shoot 2. First one's up, falls good. 35-24, 11-point lead. Second one's up, in and out. Rebound, Evans. Over to Rose. Rose brings it down the floor, underneath to Baker. Back out to Van Dusen. She stops and pops it. Nope, rebound Odell to Phillips. To Morgan. Count them down, we're down to 30. This third period of play about over. Lady Oaks up by 11. And Odell with the ball. Over to Spurlock. To Phillips. To Davis. To Morgan. To Odell. And 33 with a foul. That's Grimm with the shove off. Team 7th. Odell goes to the line for the 1 and bonus. No, Davis goes to the line for the 1 and bonus. Shove off must have been against Davis. One and bonus. She gets ready for her first shot. Puts it up. Falls good. She gets her bonus shot now. It's up. Falls good. 37-24. A pass to Evans. To Van Dusen. And long shot. Rolls good for her. A 2, they say. 26-37. Oak Hill up by 11 yet. At the end of the third period, we'll be back for the final 8 minutes of this ball game in just a few seconds. And as we come back, it's South Webster's ball on the possession arrow. Van Dusen to Rose. To Van Dusen. She hit it 2 a while ago. Rose with a long shot. And knocked out. Evans misses. Spurlock picks it up. Over to Phillips. To Morgan. Looked like we got a trap going on there. And over to Spurlock. Back to Morgan. And throw it away. Partial block there. Lady Oaks throwed it away. Bria down the middle. And a foul called on Spurlock. Be her third. And they're giving her the Rose the 2 shots. 16 foul for the Lady Oaks. Rose at the line to shoot 2. First one's up. Falls good for 10-point ball game now. 27-37. Lady Oaks up by 10. In and out. And Evans. And a foul on Maynard. Evans will go to the line to shoot 2. Maynard's 4th. Odell in the ball game. Evans on the line to shoot 2. Missed her first one. Got her second one. 28-37, 9-point ball game. Lady Oaks throwed it away. Timeout, Lady Oaks. Into Van Dusen. 9-point ball game here for the Lady Oaks. South Webster, you can't count them out yet. There's a three, long three. No. And a foul's called in there on Baker. Baker with 3 fouls. Phillips will come to the line and shoot 2, or shoot 1 and bonus. South Webster with 18 fouls. Phillips' first shot's up and falls good. Second shot's up, rolls good. Lady Oaks up by 11 again. Van Dusen throws it away. Throwed it away. Lady Oaks ball with 7:10 to go in this fourth period of play. Morgan knocked away by by Baker. Underneath to Rose, and she gets 2. To Ruth. To Spurlock. To Morgan. To Spurlock. To Morgan. Cross to Phillips. And no foul called. Not a thing called down there. Nine-point ball game for the Lady Oaks. Rollins with the ball. Over to Rose from three-point land. Nothing but air. And it's a jump ball. O'Kill's ball on the jump. South Webster putting pressure on the Lady Oaks. Full court pressure over Spurlock. Over to Ruth. Ruth to Spurlock. It's O'Kill's ball, knockout by Van Dusen. 6:13 to go in this fourth period of play. Spurlock into Morgan. And throwed into traffic. Picked up by Rose. Across to Van Dusen. Stole by Phillips. Over to Morgan. Double team. Over to Ruth. And Morgan to Odell. And a foul called in there on number 35. Be her 4th. Odell on the line to shoot 2. 19 foul on South Webster. Lady Oaks still up by 9. First one's up. Falls good. 10-point ball game for the Lady Oaks. Second one's up. Falls good. Van Dusen over to Evans. Over to Rollins. And picked a rebound by Spurlock. Out of Davis's hands. 5:25. Lady Oaks up by 11. Underneath to Evans. She shoots and a foul called on Odell, I believe. Puts Evans on the line to shoot 2. I was thinking O'Kill ought to be up by another one. Evans missed her first one. picked up by Rollins, over to Baker, out to Van Hoosen, across to Rose, underneath to Evans, out to Rollins. She gets 2. Phillips with the ball, to Ruth, to Spurlock, to Phillips, to Ruth, to Odell, thrown away, Van Hoosen went, to race for the back. She backs it out. Underneath to Evans, out to Rollins, over to Rose for 3. And she gets it. To Ruth, 35-41, to Phillips, knocked in the hands of Baker, to Rose, to Van Hoosen. Van Hoosen from 3, no, rebound Phillips. To Spurlock. She brings it down the middle, takes it all the way down, stole by Rollins. Rollins brings it up to the bucket. Stops, gives it to Evans, over to Rose from 3. She gets it. Timeout, Lady Oaks, 38-41. 3-point lead for the Lady Oaks. Oak Hill's ball back into Phillips. Spurlock. To Morgan. Knocked away. Rollins. To Evans. To Van Dusen. And she palms it. Oak Hill's ball on turnover. Into Phillips. To Spurlock. To Morgan. And stole by Rollins. To Van Dusen. She gets 2. And a foul on Van Dusen. Her 3rd. Phillips will go to the line. 1-point ball game here. We've seen South Webster turn it on in the last couple minutes. We had an 11-point lead and we've lost it down to 1. Lady Oaks has had about 4 turnovers in a row. We're into double bonus now. Phillips on the line to shoot 2. Gets the first one. Gets the second one. 43. Lady Oaks up by 3. Van Dusen. Lady Oaks trying to put the trap on them. Over to Rollins. Clear across to. Back out to Rose from 3. No. And a jump ball. South Webster's ball on the jump ball. Down to 3 minutes in this 4th period of play. Rose bringing the ball in for South Webster. Into Baker, underneath to Evans. She turns, she shoots in and out. And a Oak Hill's ball. Should have been a foul called there, but there wasn't. Into Morgan. To Spurlock. To Morgan. To Spurlock. To Phillips, to Morgan, to Phillips from 3. Got it. 3rd 3 for Becky tonight. Lady Oaks back up by 6. There should have been a foul. Evans to Rollins, to Rose, to Van Dusen, and it's out. Oak Hill's ball on the turnover with 2:33 to go. Into Phillips, over to Morgan, over to Phillips, over Davis ends up with it. And a foul on Evans, she's gone. And Davis will go to the line to shoot 2. Evans should be gone. Evans is out there. She's not real happy with herself. Coach, there's ref talking to her. She should have been gone a long time ago. Davis on the line to shoot 2. Off the back of the rim. Lady Oaks need to extend this lead. Her second shot's up. Rolls good. Lady Oaks up by 7. Van Hoosen to Rose. To Baker, to Van Hoosen, to Rose, to Rollins. Underneath to Grimm. Picked up there by Spurlock. Foul called on Grimm. Her second. Spurlock will go to the line to shoot 2. 2 minutes left in this ball game. Lady Oaks up by 7. Spurlock on the line to shoot 2. Got Maynard back, Morgan back, Phillips and Davis underneath. And it falls off the edge of the rim. Second shot's up. Rolls off the edge of the rim. Picked up by South Webster. Rose bringing the ball down. Lady Oaks. Baker to Van Dusen from 3. No. And a shove on Grimm. Spurlock will go to the line to shoot 2. (47-40). Spurlock back on the line to shoot 2. With 1:53 to go in this ball game. In and out. And her second shot's up. Falls good. Yeah. 8-point ball game for the Lady Oaks. Van Dusen to Baker to Rollins to Rose to Van Dusen. Over to Baker. Cross to Rollins. Over to Rose. Cross to Grimm. Grimm to Rollins to Rose. To Grimm or Rollins. Rollins for 3. No. And, should have been a foul called in there on Rose. Phillips with the rebound. Over to Morgan. And a foul called on Rose. And Morgan will go to the line to shoot 2. With 1:21, Lady Oaks up by 8. Lady Oaks is fighting a hard battle here tonight. So far, we've led every quarter. Morgan's first shot's up. Falls good. Second shot's up. Falls good. Now we're back to a 10-point lead. Van Dusen brings the ball down. You're going to see Van Dusen and Rose shoot some threes, I'm sure. Out to Rose. Rose with a 3. No good. Underneath the Baker, I believe. Yep. Baker with a 2. Over to Morgan. Trap. Over to Phillips. To Davis. To Phillips. To Morgan. Down under 50. And a foul on Van Dusen. That should be her 4th, I believe. No, that should be her 5th, I think. No, that's her 4th. It's right the first time. Morgan on the line to shoot 2. Lady Oaks lead by 8. Morgan shooting 2 for the Lady Oaks. First one's up. Falls good. South Webster's pulled the last couple games out at the last buzzer and won by 2, but they're down right now by 10. Morgan with all 4 of her 3 throws tonight. Phillips with all of her 3 throws tonight. Rollins to Grimm. And it's South Webster's ball. 46.6 seconds. Rollins in and out. Picked up by Phillips. And she brings it across the timeline, stop. Over to Morgan. Morgan to Phillips. Phillips brings it around. They're eating the clock up down to 25. To Davis. And a foul on Baker. Davis will go to the line. 4th foul on Baker. 20.8 seconds. Lady Oaks up by 10. Davis on the line to try to make it 12. And it rolls off the edge. Timeout, South Webster. Let's keep from losing something there. Davis on the line to shoot 2 as we come back with 20.8 seconds left in this ball game. You can't count South Webster out yet. Davis with the shot. She missed her first one, got the back end of it. To Baker, to Grimm. Grimm shoots it up. No, rebound Phillips. They're going to foul her quick. Yep. No. Jump ball. Oak Hill's ball. 9.8 seconds. And the ball's into Phillips. And she's just going to stand there. She's got time. They can go out and foul her. They can walk off the court. And they choose to walk off the court. And this one's a Lady Oaks. 53-42. And this ball game's over. Lady Oaks win it. And this is a good win for the Lady Oaks. And as they go through and slap hands, we'll see you next Thursday night here at home again. And this is Dale Gillen along with Jim Phillips. We're inviting you all out next Thursday night to watch the Lady Oaks play Waverly, I believe. And we'll be here. Y'all have a good weekend.